Match at the Oval, hardly a cloud in the sky, a beautiful looking batting pitch, and that was good news for the West Indians because they won the toss, a very, very good toss to win. The strange news was that they decided to go into the match, even though the pitch was a little bit bare, without a spin bowler. They went into the same side that played at Headingley and won the series, 4 fast bowlers in the side, and bad news for England was that John Snow was unfit. He pulled out at the last minute with a thigh injury. Selby came into the side, and having lost the toss, it looked that England would certainly be in for a little bit of leather chasing today. We join play now in the second over of the day. It's Selby bowling to Roy Fredericks.
And that's a chance. And that was a terrible error, one thought, from Alan Knott, because that ball was going at very, very catchable height to Tony Greig at slip. A simple slip catch there. And Alan Knott flinging himself across where he'd really no business to be. And giving Tony Greig no chance at all. And he's given him out. A long look there by Bill Alley, and up goes the finger, and Greenwich is gone. Typifying again this game of cricket. This man in such tremendous form, coming here with all the confidence in the world, is dismissed without scoring. Great blow this by Bob Willis, bringing that one back just fractionally from outside the off stump. Greenwich going back, departs without opening his account. The first wicket going down with the score on 5. Selby now to Richards. Oh, confidently away. Moved inside, flipped it away square, the first boundary. Derek Underwood, the left-arm spinner on at the far end. One can only imagine that the new bowlers are going to, new ball bowlers are going to change ends.
Replacing Bob Willis at New Oxford and Derek Underwood.
It's a slow one, time swung away to deep square. No chance at all there of Amos cutting it off. That's cut away, chased by Miller, but once again it'll race away for 4 more. It's an expensive change today. There's 2 boundaries already. Oh, it's a glorious shot, glorious stroke. And this man is so quickly into position. His feet moving like the lightning, forcing it away square on the offside. A player here with all the confidence in the world. Foot already back into position, the bat following through. Glorious shot.
Well, that's a lovely stroke. Superb footwork there to take him to the pitch of the ball. Just racing into the boundary away the far side of the ground. Oh, that was a good shot. There's a no ball, and Richards had plenty of time to change his mind there. He was going after it off the front foot. He was beaten in the flight, but it didn't matter because umpire Alley had already made the call. So the 50 is up now in 48 minutes. 48 minutes of delightful entertainment, except if you happen to be an English bowler or fieldsman. Warmer again. That'll be 4. And that's Fredericks' 1,000 runs for the tour. Miller's the fieldsman there. And 3 runs. This outfield's very fast. chance, no third man. It went through the gully area in the air. And Viv Richards now has gone on to 38.
Sullivan out of Fredericks. And that's through the gap. No chance at all of anybody stopping it. And it's 4 more. And they must be liking what they can see out there. A really easy pitch. Very fast outfield, and encouraged by another packed oval crowd. Well, it wasn't a chance, I don't think. It found the outside edge, kept fairly low. Not quite as a pitch, as his foot going there now, and it skimming along the ground. And that's through this time, all right. So Richards goes to his 50 before Fredericks. Comes back for the third and moves on to 51. Of course, from the England fielders, and Richards again in really cracking form here at the Oval. His 50 coming in just 87 minutes, 5 boundaries included. And also helping to hoist the 100 up for the West Indies. 102 for 1 with Richards on 51. Through this time. So Roy Fredericks doing likewise, taking 3, moving through to his 50. Taking him just a little longer than Richards, exactly 100 minutes. He hit the additional boundary, including 6 fours in his 52. 52 out of 105 for 1. And you can't allow anything round about leg stump at this man, Richards. Nonchalantly flicked that away through mid-wicket for 4 more. This partnership past the 3-figure mark now. 110 for 1, the last wicket going down at 5. And that's the score. Sees the introduction of Geoffrey Miller to bowl his first over in Test match cricket. So the crowd aware of it now, giving this fine young prospect a good reception. His recognition for an England place coming in fact only 18 days after Derbyshire gave him his county cap. Remember, it was a match we televised at Chesterfield against Warwickshire. Selvey doing well to get everything behind that. And quite a promising start, I must say, there by Geoffrey Miller. Looks to have a good, cool, calm temperament. Well within himself, kept it there and thereabouts. And that's really as much as you can ask on this pitch here this morning. It's only the 4th maiden bowl by England this morning in the 28 overs they've delivered to date. 110 for 1, the score remains 55 to Richards, 53 to Fredericks. No lack of initiative at all from Tony Greig here this morning. He had Underwood on at 10 minutes to 12. He didn't give Balderson a spin at all up at Headingley, but now he's bringing him on here the first session here before lunch. Well, Chris Balderson, quite a useful performer, and Tony Greig will remember that because he got rid of the England captain down at Eastbourne in the match that finished yesterday. Finished the Sussex innings off with a hat-trick. One gets the impression that he would have done a lot more bowling with another county. But, some fierce competition at Leicester these days. And short, first bad one is bowled, pulled away very comfortably through mid-wicket by Fredericks for 4.
That's a fine shot. There's no outfield. It's rather a strange-looking field, in fact. 4 men on the onside, all protecting the single. And they're all going to come back now into that same area. Oh, what a marvellous shot. That really was a superb stroke. Well, I'll be very interested to see what the umpires do about that. And it's signal 4. Very nice sight. The ground itself a little on the brown side, which one can't complain about. The lack of rain, but the outfield is very fast and is in good condition, considering all the circumstances. It's safe, right over the top of the bowler's head, and 4 runs into the pavilion rails. Should be very happy at 148 for 1, and in addition seeing the stroke play we're seeing at the moment. To Fredericks, 84 to Richards. And Miller between the umpire and the stumps, round the wicket. What a magnificent catch that was. You will never see a greater catch than that one by Chris Balderstone to dismiss Roy Fredericks. 159 for 2 now. Fredericks is out. Caught Balderstone, bowled Miller, and Miller has claimed his first test wicket. Short, spinning away, hit like a rocket by Fredericks, and Balderstone took off. He plays a lot of soccer, but it's not in goal. But that was worthy of one of the great goalkeepers of all time. I wonder Roy Fredericks looks a bit dejected there. That was 4 runs from the moment it left the bat. And well-merited applause from the spectators and the English players. Fredericks played very well indeed, and I think he could see 100 coming up there just for the taking. Lawrence Rowe. That's more like it. His last 2 deliveries been given a lot of air. And some spin there as well.
So these two have put 18 on since Fredericks was out. It's Rowe on 3 now to face Derek Underwood. And he's got that through. Quite a delightful extra cover drive. No great strength in it at all, but a little bit of perfect timing. Looks the most elegant player when he's making runs. Oh, that's another great shot. Allowed it to come on, played it late. It was off a no ball, but he was already committed to the shot anyway. And, typical West Indian shot there. Hitting the ball as it came on. Nothing like a half volley. fired wide, hit late and square. So West Indies, who won the toss here this morning, had no hesitation in batting here, have made 187 for 2 with Richards on 98. And he's got the bowling now. And we'll be facing Geoffrey Miller. Swept away behind square. Certainly be his 100 this. Richards knows it. Takes the first one comfortably, jogs away for the second to complete another brilliant performance. And this man continues his most remarkable run in Test match cricket. His 100 coming here in just on 3 hours, including 10 fours. And really is a man in form. It's his 8th Test 100 and his 3rd against England. And bear in mind, he only made his first Test match debut in less than 2 years ago. Oh, that's a good shot before. Again, the over-pitch wideish half volley. Just a little bit too far outside off stump. And Richards content with the single bringing up the 200 for West Indies. Coming up in the 54th over.
That's a fine shot, beautifully placed. Just racing away over the parched outfield there. Shot. What a good shot. That wasn't very far offline. It was just a fraction short, and he was into position beautifully for that. Just gave himself a little bit of room. Smashed it away through cover plate.
That's nicely flighted, but Rowe was equal to it. Waited for it, pushed it away. The ball racing away there for 4 more. So just a little lack of experience showing here by Geoffrey Miller. Just keeps losing his line a little bit outside the off stump, and there's so very little margin of error to these two fine players. Swung away down to deep square. Miss out there. So the single bringing up the 100 partnership between these two. And this 100 stand has come at slightly quicker than a run a minute. Just 92 minutes, an hour and a half roughly. And beautifully placed, gave himself room. It wasn't all that short. But this man Richards is so quick on his feet. He seizes and sizes up the opportunity so quickly. And little or no margin of error, not all that short as you can see, and back goes the foot, and whack he goes, perfectly placed through the covers. And he's found the gap all right this time. Similar sort of shot, in fact, to the one that Richards played in the last over, been repeated here by Lawrence Rowe. Nudged away on the offside for the single to bring him his 50. So Lawrence Rowe going to pretty good 50 here, made out of 272. Taking him just on 100 minutes, and adds that 50 to the one he made in the Test match up at Headingley. So Rowe missed out on the first 3 Test matches, notching a second successive 50. Magnificent shot again. Ran away from it, played it late, crushed it square. So up goes about 150 to Viv Richards. And another glorious display by Richards, 150 out of 288. Being in complete command from the very moment here he took guard this morning. So Balderston slipped in a couple of overs here before lunch. We have confirmation from Bill Alley, the umpire, that the first one that he bowled turned quite considerably. Nothing very much happened after that. He's going to bowl with a slip. And over pitches the first, and Richards can put it away for 2 more. Well, the introduction of all these bowlers with their shorter run-ups has certainly meant a great increase in the over rate. In the 77th over now, and in some previous Test match days, that's as many as we got all day. Still an hour and 20 minutes to go here. A bad ball short, and taken full advantage of again by Richards. Hammered away through mid-wicket for 4 more. So 300 total reached, with only 2 men out, and Richard's share of that is 157.
It's in the air, and he's put it down. An absolutely straightforward catch, and Derek Underwood will be distraught at that. Second grab at it, so that leaves only Amos and Knott. Amos will be pretty cranky. I should think that he hasn't been called on, rather fancies himself in the nets. And David Steele. Safe, and 4 runs. Good clean hit too.
And that's 4 more, no bother at all. Richards disdaining to leave the crease. Stood there and hammered it away, leant on his bat and admiringly watched it go through for 4 more. His 24th boundary in a total of 189. And again, just flicked away through the gap. Greg having to chase it this time, but leaving it to Balderston. And Richards adds 3 more to take the score on to 350. And that's out this time. He stumped him, not a stumped in. That one certainly turned. And Derek Underwood strikes, and he'll be relieved. It's the first wicket he's taken since Old Trafford. And Lonsrow is the man to go, out for 70. Stumped Knott, bowled Underwood with the West Indies total on 350. So applause for Alan Knott, establishing this new world record. Most dismissals now made by a wicketkeeper in Test match cricket. It's on to 220 and just at long last passing the record here of Godfrey Evans with 219 to his credit. So a good sound innings this by Lonsrow, supported Richards quite unselfishly all the way through. They took the score on from 159 to 350, just 9 short of a 200 partnership. So Underwood at long last breaking this partnership, and the ball certainly turning there quite considerably and presenting a pretty simple stumping chance to Alan Knott. So 2 short legs and a slip. And there again, a man very much in form. A bad ball there by Greg, outside leg stump, presenting no problems to the giant West Indians. Swept away behind square for 4. Hit with tremendous power off the back foot by Clive Lloyd. And that's it. Flipped away nonchalantly and elegantly. And unfortunately, we're going to get an invasion, which will spoil this really brilliant 200. So Richards going on to a second double century in this Test match series. And he's the last person who wants this sort of treatment or this sort of behaviour on the ground. I think it was forecast by our friend and colleague here, Everton Weeks, that there could well be an invasion. And there they go, which is going to hold up play for a little longer. And Richards, obviously, not enjoying it at all. Clive Lloyd trying his best to get these fellas away off the field.
Well, that really is a tremendous scorecard, isn't it? Following on that 437 for 9 on the first day at Headingley. Here the West Indies have finished with 373 for 3. Marvellous innings by Vivian Richards, 200 not out, and Clive Lloyd just sticking around there at the end for his 15. Still quite a bit of batting to come. Collis King, Murray and the tail-enders, and the West Indies should be able to put up a very, very good score tomorrow with Richards coming back out fresh. The England bowling, well, I think the best that can be said for it is that all 9 of them tried hard. There are a lot of part-time bowlers in there. The best was probably Derek Underwood, 30 overs, 1 for 87. Tony Greig had a good spell. The thing I couldn't understand today concerned Greig and Underwood in that Greig whipped him on very, very quickly this morning. I thought it was probably going to be just a bowling change, but in fact he gave him a 5-over spell. I couldn't understand that, and I certainly couldn't understand the non-taking of the second new ball this evening. Even if it were to be given back to the spinners, there would have been much more bounce in it. So those 2 tactical things I just couldn't come up with an answer to. A fine day, though, a wonderful day again for the West Indies, and a wonderful day for the spectators. I said the Trent Bridge by Vivian Richards, 200 not out, and Clive Lloyd just sticking around there at the end for his 15. Still quite a bit of batting to come. Collis King, Murray and the tail-enders, and the West Indies should be able to put up a very, very good score tomorrow with Richards coming back out fresh. The England bowling, well, I think the best that can be said for it is that all 9 of them tried hard. There are a lot of part-time bowlers in there. The best was probably Derek Underwood, 30 overs, 1 for 87. Tony Greig had a good spell. The thing I couldn't understand today concerned Greig and Underwood in that Greig whipped him on very, very quickly this morning. I thought it was probably going to be just a bowling change, but in fact he gave him a 5-over spell. I couldn't understand that, and I certainly couldn't understand the non-taking of the second new ball this evening. Even if it were to be given back to the spinners, there would have been much more bounce in it. So those 2 tactical things I just couldn't come up with an answer to. A fine day, though, a wonderful day again for the West Indies, and a wonderful day for the spectators. I said the Trent Bridge Test that one of the abiding memories of the summer would be Vivian Richards' double century there. Well, you can add this one to it as well, and also pencil down the name of Alan Knott, who went past Godfrey Evans' record today. Well, it didn't appear there'd be any great delights in store for England and their skipper Tony Greig when the second day of the final Test match began at the Oval. The pitch was still perfect, weather conditions great, and Tony Greig, to his advantage, had the chance of taking the second new ball. He didn't do it, in fact, and we join play now with Miller bowling the first over to Vivian Richards. It's well stopped by Bob Woolmer. Well, we're just looking at that ball as it came down below us here. It looks to be in tatters. It's a very, very pale shade. And just had a quick glance down through the binoculars. And there doesn't seem to be very much stitching left on it. There's 102 overs gone from it. A lovely shot. Guess she plays that well. Several times yesterday, he was beautifully positioned to get that ball away through mid-wicket, and that was a superb example of it. And the young cricketers watching couldn't do better than use that as a model. A lovely roll of the wrists, just as the feet have taken him to the pitch of the ball. Oh, that's a good shot. It's 4 from the moment it left the bat. Very well bowled by Miller there. Good slower ball. Just had Lloyd stretching a little bit. And that's an even better one. Just past on the outside edge of the bat. That's a good over. Sensible bowling. Just going past the outside edge. Safe and a fine stroke. Might have been beaten a little in the flight there by Underwood, and he went through with the stroke beautifully. Didn't try hitting across the spin, hit with it straight over extra cover as he was on his way down, and a very sensible stroke. What a good shot. My word. Would have been a great catch. That's the sort of catch you don't really want to see coming back at you. Ball is turn it. It's the 50 partnership up. Four runs. Willis. It's been given a ball, and hopefully it'll be with the new ball. Even if it's only for a couple of overs from him and a couple of overs from Solvey. I understand Tony Greig made the remark that there's not much point in bowling the quicks if the ball's going to bounce twice getting through to the keeper. But I don't believe that's quite the point at issue. The point is that if you're going to bowl the spinners, you should give them the very best facilities you can, and that certainly includes the hardest possible ball with the most prominent possible stitches. And umpire Bird is having a word with him again. And is having a word with the umpire as well, so he's warned him again. So There's no doubt that Bob Willis is wrong there. He's digging up the pitch there. He's also taking the new ball. Field change for the new ball. Second slip comes in. Certainly worth a shout. Didn't seem to do a great deal off the pitch, but perhaps just the change of pace beat Richards, and could well have been missing leg stump. Shot.
And in position there for the half volley. Half volley outside the leg stump presents no problems to Richards in this sort of form. So 120 of his runs now coming in fours as he moves on to 239. And the shot repeated. Another half volley round about leg stump. Flicked away there. And you'd really think the England bowlers must know the great strength of this man. Anything round about leg stump, so severe on. That's a half volley, stroked gloriously through the covers for four. It's the one he was waiting for that takes him on to 250, establishes a 100 partnership between these two. In fact, the third successive century stand in this innings to date. And that 100 stand coming just fractionally over a run a minute, 104 minutes. And Richards has been in there just about 7 hours for his 250. Selvey now to bowl his 15th over of the innings. Oh, we haven't shown you too many of these. Playing and missing outside the off stump by any West Indian batsman on this pitch. Ball just moving a shade away from him. Another good ball, found the outside edge this time, but it's going to be 4 runs to Clive Lloyd. And Selvey certainly feeling that there's no justice at all in this game. Stroked quietly through mid-wicket. No power at all in the shot, just pushed away gently, firmly. And brings Lloyd a second boundary in this over. Beautiful shot, just simply waiting for the over-pitch ball and repeating the dose again in that over. And another half volley, and that stroke just for a change through mid-wicket.
Jeff Miller. He's coming in from the Vauxhall end, and Lloyd's on 45. Bird just taking the opportunity to slip across. Not moving too freely either. I'd like to have my money on him today, down at Newbury. Oh, it's a fine shot. You know, he only just stroked that ball away. It was no more than a defensive push. And there's Clive Lloyd's half-century. That's been a very good innings, not simply because he made a good 50, but because he's been quite happy to play second fiddle to Viv Richards. It's been a nice piece of unselfish cricket from Lloyd. It's a lovely little change of mind shot. Still get an easy 4 or run. It's 4 more. No chance of getting that. That was hit with power. What a marvellous stroke. He's played no better shot than that in the whole of this series. There it is. As good a shot as you will ever see. Superbly executed. 500 came up with that shot. 503 for 3 now in 451 minutes. There's only ever been one higher innings played on this ground. That's by Len Hutton, 364.
Another over from Greg to Richards. And down the wicket, lofted high over the bowler's head. And he's bowled him, and Richards goes on 291. The end of a memorable innings. A useful delivery indeed from Tony Gregg. A little bit of spin from outside the off stump. A little casual shot from Vivian Richards. On the end of a day that people at the Oval will remember for a very long time. 291 made out of 524, and in that last over from Tony Gregg, he established a new aggregate in runs scored in a test series by a West Indian. Been applauded all the way in by the England team in an innings which lasted 474 minutes and included 38 boundaries. Two short legs in now. Gregg getting a little bit of spin out of this pitch. Collis King still to score. It's away now, forced off the back foot, comfortably away for 4 runs. Steele taking a nasty rap there. Very close at short leg, and right off the middle of the bat, swung away by Clive Lloyd. And that'll make David Steele hop around for a while. No chance at all to take any form of protective cover there. Clive Lloyd facing Underwood. Oh, that's a great shot. Straight over the top of the bowler's head for 4. Boundary taking the Clive Lloyd on to 79. Total now reached 542 for 4. 2 men in front of the pavilion. Woolmer at long off. Tony Gregg himself back on the long on boundary. And that's going through. Is it just dropping short with Bob Woolmer? He's the man out at long off.
And that is out. It must be gone. It was very wide, a quicker ball. And Clive Lloyd is gone for 84. It's the 5th wicket down. And although there's a great deal of pleasure around the ground from the England supporters, there are 547 runs on the board. And unfortunately, we're just about to have come alongside Clive Lloyd, some fellow who slipped himself onto the field just to make a little exhibition of himself. Destroy Clive Lloyd's moment of happiness as he goes back into the pavilion. Wide on the return crease. And very wide the ball. A pretty good catch that from Alan Knott, because he had to go a long way onto the offside. Well, that's a bad delivery. No wonder Tony Greig was annoyed at that. Half volley, 2 feet outside the leg stump.
Underwood to Murray. It's swept away, nobody down there now on that deep square leg boundary, so Murray will collect a 4. And he's done it at last. He's put one over the top. Must really have been trying hard to restrain himself all the time he's been in there, because by nature he's very much an attacking player. So at last getting to the pitch of the ball, putting it right over mid-off for 4. So the roar going up here at the Oval as the West Indies score moves on to 600. And a sight you don't see very, very often in this country. 600 for 5, the West Indies total now. And those runs have come at better than a run a minute. 591 minutes for the 600 runs. And being greeted with a crushing drive off the back foot by King. Willis to King. And he's repeated it, hit with even more venomous power than ever. Really would flush that one through extra cover. And King's on 49. Making sure he gets his 50, racing through for it.
Out. Caught and bowled. Derek Murray. Well taken by Derek Underwood. The 6th wicket goes down for 640 with Murray out for 36. Caught and bowled Underwood. And that gives Derek Underwood a well-deserved 2nd wicket. Slightly slower ball. Murray playing too soon at it. And Underwood made no mistake. When you're in your 58th over, you don't miss caught and bowls. And he's caught it. Balderstone's 1st wicket was a great hit by Collis King. And it was beautifully taken by Mike Selvey. Congratulations for Balderstone. Collis King is out for 63. Caught Selvey, a beautifully judged catch out at long on. Bowled Balderstone. Here's how it happened. It's a big hit. It's a long hit down to that far end of the ground. He got it very well. Selvey judged it nicely, taking it fairly high, around about shoulder height, and away to his right-hand side. Good shot. It's safe. And we'll go for 4. That's a good shot too. Holding, really getting stuck into it out there, taking 17 off ball that stands over, just after the left-hander had taken his first test wicket.
So here we go again, another change. And for once in a while, Underwood in complete control of the field placings. Another man on the leg side. Aim is coming in now to cover point. And Holding swung that away to deep square. There's another gift for him, pitching round about leg and middle stump. And nobody out on that deep square leg boundary. Underwood again to Holding. It's high in there, it's over the top of one of those long arms. And has it gone for 6? Yes, that's a mighty, mighty blow. Picking out just about the longest part of this great big oval field. First 6 of the match, and that's going to cause another record to be written in the record books, with the score going on to 685. It's the highest total in a test match ever made by the West Indies, beating the 681 at Port of Spain in 1953-4. And he's fallen this time, swinging away across a good length ball. And that means the declaration here. So Holding bowled by Underwood to give Derek Underwood his 3rd wicket, out for 32. The declaration made here at close on 5:30, with the West Indies score standing on a mammoth 687 for 8.
Well, that gasometer is one of the landmarks of the Oval, and, well, it's been there. There have been some great innings played here. None better, I think, than that one by Vivian Richards there, 291. A superb exhibition of stroke play. Clive Lloyd, an unselfish knock today. Collis King, 63. One of these days he's going to make 100 for the West Indies, and it'll be a good one as well. 687 for 8 declared. And Derek Underwood and Tony Greig, between them picking up 5 wickets, and I think probably they were the best of the England bowlers. Well, the real trial of the afternoon was to come then when England had just under 50 minutes to bat, and that trial was for Dennis Amos. He's brought back into this England side, a trial against pace. He's failed against it recently, and we join him now as he's facing the first over, being bowled by Andy Roberts.
But that, a really bad shot. A really bad shot. No need for that at all. A wide one outside off stump. Just really gave him an opportunity to judge the pace of this wicket, allow it to go through. Holding then to Woolmer. That's a very, very useful ball, the first ball. Pitched right on the spot, gathered a little bit of pace and moved sharply away. There his first runs, nicely behind it, over pitch ball, showing you can drive off the back foot just as efficiently as you can off the front. So that'll do him a power of good, right off the middle of the bat, through for 4.
It's a quick delivery. Should say that's probably the fastest ball we've seen in this match. Amos is quite outdistancing Bob Woolmer. Goes on now to 18 with that boundary. Will miss the batsman. Well, probably 4 the way this outfield is. Four runs. Well, that's the ball the West Indians will be aiming for. That one well up around leg stump. See again what happened there is right across, exposing the leg stump as the ball was on its way. That was taken right off middle and leg. Well, Dennis Amos got through that last 50 minutes and did it pretty well too with that new technique, which is quite interesting. He's obviously been working hard at it in the nets whilst he's been out of the test side, and if he has been doing that, then he deserves to have some success. He and Wilmer got through pretty well this afternoon. They played and missed once or twice, but the pitch is still very good, and they've got to within 454 of that follow-on mark, which is 488. Very good effort from them. Nothing there really for the West Indian pace battery. They've played all their fast bowlers. I suspect that they're regretting already with that number of runs on the board that they haven't got Albert Padmore on the side. The only problems I can see are that the pitch, I suppose the top might go a little bit Monday or Tuesday. The players don't seem to think so. And England, as far as I'm concerned, should be able to save the game, as indeed they did against the Australians on a similar type pitch last summer. But what have we got in store now tomorrow? We may not see the same exhilarating batting, I suppose, as we have done from the West Indies over the last 2 days, but we should see a stirring fight from the England batsmen, who have the chance of regaining some pride after losing 54 of that follow-on mark, which is 488. Very good effort from them. Nothing there really for the West Indian pace battery. They've played all their fast bowlers. I suspect that they're regretting already with that number of runs on the board that they haven't got Albert Padmore on the side. The only problems I can see are that the pitch, I suppose the top might go a little bit Monday or Tuesday. The players don't seem to think so. And England, as far as I'm concerned, should be able to save the game, as indeed they did against the Australians on a similar type pitch last summer. But what have we got in store now tomorrow? We may not see the same exhilarating batting, I suppose, as we have done from the West Indies over the last 2 days, but we should see a stirring fight from the England batsmen, who have the chance of regaining some pride after losing the series. And what we will see also is an absolute full house here, as we have had on the first 2 days of this very exciting game. Well, England began the 3rd day of the final test at the Oval, still needing 454 runs to avert the follow-on. That was the mark they were aiming for. They weren't so much worried about the West Indians, 687. And the key to the situation lay, I thought, with Dennis Amos. He started off the day's play at 22 not out. Could he do as he did yesterday and fight back with courage against these fast bowlers? We're going to join play in the first over of the day. It's Bob Woolmer batting, and it's Daniel bowling from the Vauxhall end.
And very wide down the leg side for 4 byes. Daniel to Amos. It's a good shot. In the position nicely. Clipped it through mid-on. Chase there for Bernard Julian. And no problem here. They're going to get 4 all run. And not an unusual occurrence here at the Oval. It's very, very big ground. Another packed house. People thought the interest might have died with West Indies having already won this series, but great interest in this game of cricket here today. They've had 2 really wonderful days up to present. I hope England can play a few shots and make it worthwhile for this very big Saturday crowd. And he's out, LBW this time. There's a danger man holding. So Woolmer there, beaten by a ball which moved just a fraction. And goes LBW for 8 with the England score on 42nd. Just moved a little, but honestly, one would have thought that Bob Woolmer should have played that without too much discomfort. England to Steele. Well, that's a fair accomplishment to get that ball to bounce so high on this pitch. And David Steele, has he learnt some good common sense there, because previously in the Test match he would have been going for the hook shot there. And I think that's possibly the first time we've seen him decide to duck underneath it. That's a good shot. Over-pitched, hit firmly off the back foot. And Amiss demonstrating once again that just as easy to hit these pace bowlers if you move back into line off the back foot as it is stretching out and never been quite sure whether you're at the pitch or not. So David Steele yet to score, facing Holding. Another confident shout. Steele then well forward. But this is really a fine spell on this docile pitch by Holding.
Four runs. Four more. Holding. And Dennis Amiss. Ooh, that's a good ball. And yet he looked as though he was playing inside and even though it cut back. As he was beaten for pace. That's all it was. That's a catch, but it didn't stay in the fingers. I think it just flicked the hand as it went through, but it's given Dennis Amiss his half century. A good comeback. A lot of courage has gone into that effort. And it's well appreciated by the people here today. Good shot. No need to chase that, Van Burn. Just well timed by Steele. And that is one of the real problems when you do set yourself every time to get onto the front foot, because you're committed. There goes the front foot now. Nowhere else you can go once that front foot hits the ground. Ben Van Holder is coming on from the Vauxhall end. Andy Roberts bowling just 2 overs. It'll be 4 runs. Not even Michael Holding will be able to cut that off. And the 100 comes up. So although England have lost Bob Woolmer's wicket this morning, they've done pretty well. 100 for 1. Steele goes to 18. 60 to Dennis Amiss.
Actual fact, there's been pretty good progress this by Amiss this morning. England have added 66. It might not seem as many as the West Indies put together yesterday morning, but one's got to bear in mind that they've only bowled 15 overs here in an hour and a half, so England have been scoring at 4 runs and over. One's also got to remember, of course, that Lloyd has kept an attacking field the whole time, nobody back on the boundary. And Roberts again to Amiss. It's a fine shot. Over pitch ball, into line, cracked through mid-off for 4. And all the time, Dennis Amiss here relishing his return to the Test match scene. And the bowler selected by Clive Lloyd is Roy Fredericks. He's going to bowl his mixture of left arm Chinaman and Googlies. That's better. That's the short one. He got it away this time all right. Placed it, hit it with a little more power and found the gap between cover and extra. David Steele moving into the 30s now on 31. The full toss should get this away too. That's beaten Richards racing away in front of the pavilion, and even the speed of Richards won't stop it. Steele learning from the last over, and the long hop then, and the full toss. This time he's put them both away.
Four runs. It went in the air, but nowhere near Vivian Richards. That's a better shot. He was more over that one. In fact, it was a little bit shorter. Gave him that fraction more time to get the wrists over the top of the shot. Running between the wickets this morning was quite frenetic between Amos and Steele. They were yes-knowing all over the place. Stopping and starting. That's out. David Steele has given out LBW. Holding has broken through. Steele didn't appear particularly impressed by it. He was playing forward. The only question could be whether or not he was outside off stump. He was playing a stroke. You can see it again now. Well, it didn't look to me as though he was outside off stump. His foot, to me, seems to be pretty much in line with the stumps. The score is 147 for 2 now. David Steele is out for 44. Michael Holding now to Balderstone. Well left by Amos. It was quite well played. Chris Balderstone isn't off the mark yet, and Michael Holding is bowling very fast. And that just must be the great example of a good eye that I've ever seen. Must have been just fractionally outside leg stump. Balderstone's having all sorts of problems out there at the moment against Michael Holding. And he's bowled him. Played on. A very, very good Yorker, that one. My word, that's a good piece of bowling from Holding. Beat him outside the off stump and then fired in a tremendous Yorker. Balderstone just managed to get the bat down. The ball ran back onto the stumps. He's out without scoring, 151 for 3. Here it is again in slow motion and just getting under the bat there. 151 for 3 now, and it's Peter Willey's first ball from Michael Holding. He really is bowling quickly. Holding now to Willey. He's asking for a BW there. And they also asked for a catch, but they got neither from umpire Alley. Willey was quite a bit outside off stump there. Great over from Michael Holding. Splendid spell of bowling. 13 overs, 6 maidens, 3 for 34 on a pitch that is not much use to fast bowlers. Dennis Amos is holding fast there for England. 83. Facing Andy Roberts. Good shot, 4 runs, takes him to 87. Dennis Amos is on 91. Now on 95.
Fine spell of bowling here from Michael Holding, West Indies. He's bowled with great deal of fire. Amos for England playing extremely well. Great comeback for Amos. He's got over this problem with which he was confronted against pace, and now he's really managing to get this ball in all parts of the ground. He's playing really a great innings here for England.
Amos, in fact, on 96 now, as Holding moves in. And that could be it. Over pitch ball, driven through mid-off, hurrying away. Julian's given up the chase. It goes through for 4. And a tremendous comeback this by Dennis Amos. Recalled to this England side, 1 or 2 people having serious misgivings about his ability to deal with the pace. He's answered him in the best possible fashion, going to a really excellent 100 out of 168 here for 3, and coming in at exceptionally good time. 3 hours 20 minutes for his 100, and included 13 fours. It really has been quite a tremendous performance, this. Being faced with the pace of Holding, he's got resolutely behind it all the way through, and gone a long way to reaffirming his position as England's finest opener. Quite sure that was a gift brought on to him by somebody, which he's handed to umpire Bird. But again, this interruption, which is totally unnecessary. Piece of paper, it might be a check, you never know. Now we can see it better there. Yes, a greenback, as they say. Oh, well done, Peter Willey. Half volley pushed away through mid-wicket. He's off the mark. Turning now for the 3rd. Amos moves. They could get another 4 all run here. And Amos is coming back. So good run in that, particularly by Dennis Amos. He was running to the danger end. And another all-run 4 to get Peter Willey off the mark. Peter Willey on 4 now. Daniel moving in. Through the gap between Gully and third man. Lloyd chasing it back, and he cut it off.
It's out, it's put it down. It went fast, but it wasn't as slip catches go, a particularly difficult one. Collis King, and it went just in line for, well, it was just about knee height and straight to him. That's a fine shot. 4 runs. Good looking stroke that from Amos. That's a better one. Oh, what a great stroke. So the 200 comes up for England, and what a lovely way to bring it up with a classic back foot drive.
Richards keeping going at the Vauxhall end. And that's 4 all the way. Bad ball, the first really bad one from Richards, pulled quite viciously through mid-wicket by Amos. There's a full toss put away quite beautifully and very simply by Amos for 4 over mid-wicket. Not quite where he intended. One sees it fairly often, the off-drive, or intended off-drive, catching the inside edge, going for a single, and the single bringing up the 250. And Dennis Amos's share of that 250 is 146. Very much the dominant English player here today. So Willie coming into his own. And the sweep shot round the corner for a single. Another roar of applause, because that brings up the 100th partnership. So Willie joined Amos when Balderson was out on 151. He's made 30. Short again. And that's through for 4 more. Amos waiting for that one, dropped short of a length. Fairly cracked it through mid-wicket. Moves on to his 150 now, 151. And getting a good round of applause too from the West Indian cricketers out there. Another good shot. Will go through, I think, for 4. Being chased there. Might just catch it. It's a good sprint there by Greenwich. That's how they get 3. And that's a good, firm, straight drive. And this really has been a fine exhibition by Amos. To 164, and those runs scored out of 273.
And that could be gone. That is out. Edge onto the pad, but Willie doesn't think so. Fredericks, the man coming in to take the catch. All the players nodding away to say yes, it was indeed a catch. Derek Murray just asking for a sleeveless sweater, and Peter Willey making his way off, having made 33. Tony Greig. There's the dismissal. And Roberts will take the new ball now. Nasty delivery.
And that's through the covers for 4. So cheers and boos as ever, greeting that fine cover drive from Tony Greig. That's a fine shot, beautiful drive again by Tony Greig, taking full advantage of the overpitched ball, using his height and putting it away to perfection. That's through the offside for 4, cracked away off the back foot, and that boundary to Emis brings up the 300, 303 now for 4. And Dennis Emis's personal contribution to all this is now 176. So about 17 minutes for England to survive. Tony Greig facing Holding. And he's bowled him. So Holding strikes again, and a very disappointed, disenchanted Tony Greig there. Going slightly across the line of a straight ball. Clean bowl by Michael Holding, who's really been the West Indian hero here today. Tremendous spell of bowling, this collecting his 4th wicket out of the 5 down at 303 as Tony Greig departs. Bowled by Holding for 12. Well, the crowd going mad here and racing onto the wicket. This is again one of these scenes that one would like to see avoided. Appeal being made by the Secretary over the public address system for everybody to get off the field. And absolutely no reason for it at all. The umpires absolutely helpless out there. There's nothing they can do to keep this mob away. A couple of policemen have arrived out there on the scene, but they too quite helpless against these people who just screamed over this wicket when Greig lost his middle stump. So let's see this dismissal of Tony Greig. Ball just moving fractionally from the off stump into about leg middle. And the umpire's coming off. Bill Alley and Adalbert said, well, that's up, we're going off.
I'm convinced that umpires Alley and Bird today did absolutely the right thing in stopping that game and taking the players off the field. They defused the situation. It was one of the lousiest crowd performances I've ever seen in all my life. Now, what are we going to do? Are we going to finish up playing cricket behind barbed wire, or well, perhaps I suppose that mightn't be such a bad thing. If people are going to behave like that and stop Test cricket at international level or first-class level, or in fact at any level, then I think the authorities just must do something about it. We've had all sorts of noise problems in this Test match. We've had behaviour problems. There hasn't been enough strong action. In Australia, in Melbourne, we had the same problems for quite some time. They just take those fellas off now and put them in the jail and fine them. And eventually the umpires came back for 9 minutes. England managed to stick it out without losing another wicket. Derek Underwood was the night watchman. He finished up on 1, and right up at the top of the scorecard, Dennis Amos remained 170. The second last morning of the final test at the Oval at 304 for 5. Night watchman Derek Underwood was on 1. Dennis Amos 176 not out. A magnificent innings, one of the features of the season, and a tremendous fighting comeback for this courageous cricketer who'd done so much hard work in the nets to come under the eye of the England selectors once again. Perhaps just one small point that struck us in that 176 that he made on the Saturday was that the new technique he'd adopted was causing him great problems round about leg stump. He was clipping the ball away in the air all right, but just occasionally he was leaving that leg stump exposed. We join him now as he's facing Andy Roberts in the second over of the day. Great shot. It was in the air. It went past that man like a rocket. He's got it through the gap, in the air, but between the two men. It's worth having a look at how he plays that shot. He's into position there and he's hitting it on the up. And I think we can say with confidence that he's trying, with that particular stroke, to get it over the top of the fieldsman. Roberts, and beautifully picked up, saving 4 runs. And that is Dennis Amos's highest Test innings in England. Bowled in, beaten for pace there. There's a quick delivery from Michael Holding to remove Derek Underwood, the night watchman. So it's 323 for 6 now. Underwood bowled Holding 4, and Amos is 191 not out. Holding has just taken his 5th wicket. That's how it happened. Off the pad, but certainly beaten for pace. Good shot. Moved into that very, very nicely. Perfectly timed. Now, will Roberts stay over the wicket, stay round the wicket, or will he be forced to go back over? Hasn't had the success he may have hoped for so far by going around. In fact, he is moving his mark across, and umpire Bird is signalling that he's coming back over the wicket. Well, that's, in a sense, first blood of the morning to Dennis Amos. He was attacked in a certain way, and he's now forced them to revise their opinion. In the air and 4. And that also is 4. And it's his double 100. It was over Greenwich's head. Dennis Amos goes to 203. A superb effort. Fine cricketer, Amos, and one of the best fellows you could meet in the game. Beat the fieldsman into the fence there. He didn't quite get it in the middle of the bat, but it's so quick down that side and it slopes away. And I don't think that that's a good thing from the West Indies point of view, because Daniel, who was loosening up just before that ball was bowled and was obviously about to come on at Holding's end, has just done a muscle in turning to chase that ball. And if it's where he's rubbing it, that's not too good, because that's going to be his hamstring at the back of the left leg. There's where it happened. And that's where it grabbed him. It was just that little bit of extra strain, just striving for the extra yard of pace to try and cut off the boundary. In fact, there was never any way he was going to cut it off. Produces the fast bowling attack that now gets us to the stage where Holding had bowled 4 overs and was about to be rested for Daniel. Roberts is in his 4th. It leaves Van Bernholder as the 3rd bowler in the side, plus the other part-time spinners. Collis King has 1 for 1 as well, so he'll be doing some medium pacing, but it's certainly bad luck from the West Indies point of view that their other fast bowler, making up the quickest trio in the world, should be hobbling off the field in that fashion at this stage.
And has bowled him. He's gone over too far. He's left the leg stump wide open. And Dennis Amos out for 203. The man to strike again, Michael Holding. Getting congratulations, really has bowled a magnificent spell right through this innings. But a tremendous effort this by Dennis Amos on his return to Test match scene. Wonderful performance, 203 he made. That's the highest score ever made on this ground in a Test match by an Englishman against West Indies. .28 boundaries, a stay of 440 minutes. This always seemed likely. Might be a method of getting Dennis out. Walked across outside the off stump, just left the leg stump open. The ball clipping the leg stump, and Amos bowled by Holding for 203. So Holding, the man with 6 of the 7 wickets that have fallen to his name. Remarkable performance on this dead, lively pitch. 6 for 72 his figure standing now as he is in his 23rd over. So the pressure being put on young Geoffrey Miller now. Holding Miller.
Shot by Knott, it'll go for 4. Then a Julian man chasing, but it gathers pace down the hill there towards the pavilion. It's safe, it's 4 runs. It went straight through the area between second slip and gully, where Clive Lloyd has taken a man away for Miller. It's in the air and 4 runs. Good Richards was the man diving away for that, and it was a pretty good effort. Bowled him, and it's a no ball again. Good shot. Good Richards is the man chasing it, but he has no chance of picking that up inside the fence. That was 4 right from the moment it left the bat. Now Richards is being pushed in front of square to take care of that stroke. He was 3-4 yards behind the line of the umpire. That's in the air, but it's also 4. Good shot. That's 4 runs. And that'll be 4. So as it's the last ball, they'll wait for the fans to throw it back, I suppose, and the umpires will take the players off the field. Takes the total past 400 mark for England. They have 87 runs to go to avoid the follow-on. 401 for 7, 45 to Knott, and 17 to Miller.
Got it all right this time. The gap between point and cover. And Alan Knott going through to another Test match 50. Valuable runs these from England's wicketkeeper, made out of a total now of 411 for 7. He's been in for just 106 minutes. Lloyd still persevering at that far end with Holding. And he's played it on. And another wicket for Michael Holding. Alan Knott just after completing his 50. A little unfortunate there, got into position nicely. The bat came down at a slight angle, an inside edge, and it goes down in the book as Knott bowled Holding for 50. Just striking the inside edge and back onto the stumps. So another useful innings from Alan Knott. So much out of form early on in the series, bounded back with that fine 100 up at Headingley, and now following it up with a most valuable 50 runs here at the Oval. So for Selby, back come all the close catches, 3 slips, 2 gullies. Selling it off, forward short leg, and the backward short leg. And he's done it too, Ollie. Yes, he's got out in the identical fashion. Would you believe it? An inside edge, first ball. Holding's got 8 wickets. Selby goes, first ball, out for naught. And Michael Holding, in this dramatic piece of bowling, is now on a hat-trick. Selby out in identical fashion to Alan Knott. A little bit of extra pace, the bat not quite down in time, an inside edge. So Bob Willis, the man with the responsibility of trying to deny Holding the hat-trick. Well, he wouldn't be pleased about that one. He's very cross with himself, bowled it wide down the leg stump. That's a good shot. Off the back foot, clapped it through. Extra cover, that'll run away for 4. That's another really fine shot. Got his feet into position nicely, angled the bat down, tucked it away, square on the leg side for 4 more.
And that's out. Trying to pull, and Miller has caught it mid-on. The England innings finishes at 435. Well, that's a pretty good effort from England. 435. They needed the 488 to save the follow-on. They couldn't quite do it. The lead finishing up at 252 for the West Indies. It's rather an uneven-looking scorecard, in fact, with Dennis Amos is 203. Really great innings, that. Not necessarily so much from the stroke play point of view, although that was good, but from the courage he showed in making his fight back. And then today, Underwood out early. Alan Knott, a very good and unorthodox 50. And what I thought was a very, very fine debut innings from Jeff Miller, 36. He bowled quite well in the first innings, fielded pretty well, and that was a staunch innings full of courage. And if that hasn't got him a trip to India, then the game's not right. Selby was out first ball, and Bob Willis remained not out 5. The West Indian bowling figures dominated completely by Michael Holding. It really was a superb effort from this young pace bowler. Andy Roberts, well, there's no justice in the world if he gets none for 102 of 27 overs when Michael Holding gets 8 for 92 of 33. Roberts didn't bowl all that much worse than Holding, but a marvellous effort from Michael Holding. Fine young bowler, and he's going to be even better as the years go on. Well, Clive Lloyd didn't enforce the follow-on. I didn't expect him to. In fact, I thought the ideal thing would be for him to go in, have a thrash, and get the England openers in again for just perhaps half an hour before stumps, and that's exactly the line he took himself. We join play now in the West Indies second innings, and it's Bob Willis bowling to Gordon Greenwich. Well now. Well, he's giving his hand a little bit of a shake. Well, I've never seen anything like that before. Normally, one tends... now, that's better. You get it up round about the elbow. So let's have a look at it and see, in fact, what happened. And no wonder Bob Willis let him have a bouncer after that. Well, it's got to be 4. It's a bad ball. One more. $14 off the over and a wide.
Short again, powered away quite unmercifully by Gordon Greenwich. Absolutely no way you can bowl short to this man. Willis no doubt incensed by having that do for a catch turned down. Lost his head in the remainder of the first over. Seemed that he'd recovered his cool here, but another short one there. And that's another short one, hulked away, square on the leg side for yet another 4. It's 4 all the way. Just that fraction short, wasn't all that short, but again, another illustration of no margin of error on this pitch for the medium pacer. So the 50 coming up, with Frederick's share 15 and Greenwich 31.
George McKechnie.
Incredible shot. Just a minute or so before tea. I don't know whether Greenwich is making up his mind he'd like this to be the last over before tea. That'll delay it a bit. Dance down the wicket, hit him high over extra cover.
Absolutely no sympathy for the bowler, I'm afraid. There. Can't bring myself to say bad luck at all. Anyone who bowls without a slip is just asking for trouble. Shot. Good shot. And Selby's in trouble there. It looks as though he's done a muscle. And therefore the England attack is also in trouble. 4. Good shot too. The 100 comes up in 79 minutes. Good shot. Tony Greig, the man chasing, but not even Tony Greig is going to be able to cut that off. It'll beat him into the fence at extra cover. So 2 boundaries, swing that over, and a splendid half-century to Roy Fredericks. He's had a good match, the left-hander. Take him 85 minutes. It's 6 fours. 4 runs. Well, it's a long way down there. Perhaps Amos might have a chance of getting up, but they're certainly going to run 4. In fact, might even do better than that. He's just beaten him into the boundary. And 50 to Gordon Greenwich. It's a great start by this West Indian pair. Greenwich goes to 52 in 88 minutes. 9 fours in his half-century.
It's a bad ball. A rare sight, that, from Underwood. I seldom see him drop one as short as that. Presented again, no problems to Fredericks. Waited for it, cut it away behind square for 4. That's a tremendous shot. Really picked the quick bowler up and put him straight in the pavilion for 6. A very, very big hit, that, by Gordon Greenwich.
And there is the declaration. So, in fact, both men missing their centuries, finishing up 86 and 85. That's 86 to Fredericks and 85 to Greenwich. Well, what a batting onslaught that was. 2 tremendous innings there by Fredericks and Greenwich. 182 and 137 minutes, and those runs came from just 32 overs. It really was exhilarating cricket. Well, England needed 435 to win when Lloyd made the declaration a minute before 6 o'clock. The opening batsmen again were Woolmer and Amos, and here's that man, Michael Holding again, steaming in from the Vauxhall end, and he's bowling to Bob Woolmer. There'll be 4 wides, I should think. Or byes he's given. Well, I don't think Derek Murray will be too pleased about that. There'll be 4 runs. They're both off the mark now. Woolmer with the 4 and Amos 1. Full toss that time. And 4 more. There's a bit of shine going off the ball there. In fact, I should think the England batsmen would very much prefer those kids to keep behind the fence, because what's happening is that the ball isn't being allowed to hit the fence. every time it thumps into that that tin, it takes a bit more of the shine off it, softens it. But with the kids jumping over the fence to field it, that doesn't happen. That's got to be wide, that one. And that really did thump into the fence down below. Holding doesn't normally bowl in swingers. And there could be 3 runs there. Vanburn Holt is the man who's going to have to get it from way over at extra cover. To Dennis Amos. It's a good shot for another 3, or let's see, the Quick Cups look for 4-all run, I suppose. And indeed they will do. It's now 33 without loss. Dennis Amos has 5. There's a few more now. We'll take him on to 9. No bounce there at all. But the significant thing there was the position Amos got himself into, which was right across outside the off stump. There he goes, and that ball was in line with the stumps. And there's a little bit of pain there. Last ball of the day coming up, providing sort of no ball. And in fact, Amos has clipped it away for 4. And that really is ridiculous. Those kids down there, Andy Roberts racing around to try and cut it off.
Stay off the wicket, boys. Keep on that playing area.
Well, that pair survived very well indeed. 14 to Dennis Amos and 21 to Bob Woolmer. 43 off the total of 435, leaving them with 392 for victory tomorrow. A very, very good effort from that one. And we'd start play now with Andy Roberts bowling the first over to Bob Woolmer.
That's an edge, but never carry, and it'll go through for 4. And again, early on, an illustration of how dead this pitch is. On any normal sort of cricket wicket, that must surely have gone as catchable height to slip. Holding to Amos. And that's an edge, and that's taken, and he's caught at second slip. There's the extra pace of Holding. And the first wicket gone. Amos out for 16, score on 49. Just getting a touch there, Greenwich at second slip, safely clinging hold of that one. So an early breakthrough for West Indies this morning. Amos, the double centurion hero of the first innings here, out for 16. Oh, it's a fine shot, beautiful shot, straight through mid-wicket for 4. Skillfully timed there, clipped nicely off his legs through mid-wicket. So Woolmer on 30 now. Total moved on to 54. And he's out, I think. It's on his way. Yes, caught behind. A little touch again. Ball didn't move a great deal. Holders got rid of both openers now. Two not very distinguished shots. Amos playing inside, one outside the off stump, and now Bob Woolmer following suit. It's that little lapse of concentration again by Woolmer, causing his downfall. The ball not moving at all, you see. His feet never in position quickly enough. Well, that's a great start for West Indies. The space of 17 minutes this morning, they've got rid of both England openers. Amos out for 16, and now Woolmer gone for 30. Holding to Balderston. Big shout there. Seemed very well up. Could have hit him round about the boot, I think. That couldn't have been very, very far away. Balderston got a pretty cool temperament. He'll need it here. Don't forget he's on the mark. Didn't score in the first innings. Very nearly went there too. So Holding maintaining this pace, maintaining his accuracy, his length and direction. It's a good shot. Turned away again. Square for 4. So Steele off the mark. It's only just dropped short of Richards. So Steele will collect 4 runs for that edge shot.
Way back in Adelaide in November it was, when I went down for the first West Indies match there. They start their tour in Adelaide now rather than Perth. This fellow had a slightly raw action. It was all there, but he didn't have it put together at the time. My word, he has now. It's a lovely rhythmic run, acceleration, and then that beautiful last 3 or 4 strides. And what a great delivery. Balderston, a pair, and a superb piece of bowling. Just uprooting the stump. And England now are 64 for 3. Poor Chris Balderstone. Second test match. 0-0. Jubilation for the West Indies. Now just look at this action again. It's a beautiful thing to watch. There are some bowlers who are ugly, some who are beautiful. And this fella, I think, is magnificent. That magnificent pull through. It's got to be pretty close, and certainly worth a shout. He was coming forward and might have been just outside off stump. That was the impression I had with the naked eye. And there's a crisp shot from him, and Bernard Julian is the man who's not going to be able to pick it up just before it reaches the boundary. Oh, good catch. Not a particularly good shot, but a good catch. That was sharp and away to his right. 4th wicket down, 77 on the board. Willie the man out. A bit flashy, that shot, and that's a good catch. Came sharp, knee height. And one of the features of the West Indies tour has been their catching. Peter Willie Got off the mark with one. Played well in the first innings, but that was a loose little shot. Greenwich taking the catch at second slip. No need to tell you who's coming out now.
Tony Gray.
Short leg coming up for Tony Gregg. And he's off the mark. .78 for 4. 13 to David Steele. Tony Gregg has strike. Rest of the batting there: Alan Knott, Jeff Miller, Derek Underwood, Bob Willis, Mike Selvey, who has that foot injury. Oh, well, oh. What a great Yorker that was.
Off the playing area, please. Off the playing area, please. Now.
And Tony Gregg has been done again in exactly the same way. That in slanting Yorker. Just look at it again. He's beaten for pace again. And again, he was playing across to mid-on.
That's a good shot. Good firm straight drive for 4. Edge to end. Slip again, the ball not carrying. And racing down that Barron outfield for 4 more. Clive Lloyd going to try the off spin of Viv Richards. It's going on from the Vauxhall end. 2 short legs and a slip. And off a thickish outside edge. Should be just stopped by Julian before it reaches the pavilion fence. Steele will get 3. And the 100 comes up for England. 100 up in the 27th over, but 5 men already out. Steele on 24 now and not on 11. Very confident shout there, pushing forward, but the Chinaman gripping, spinning back in and beating the forward defensive. All worth a shout. Steele might just have got outside off stump.
To Alan Knott. They're quite quick enough to be bowling bouncers on a pitch like that. I suppose it's worth a try. Always the chance for a miscue.
The terror of the English batsman on again at the far end. A resolute partnership, this between Steele and Knott. Take the score on from 78 to 128. Good long look there from Harold Bird. It looked a pretty good decision to me. Seemed fairly certain that Alan Knott had got outside off stump. And I think in the heart of hearts the West Indians would probably agree. Feet going back and across, and I think, no question, he played a shot and he just got outside off stump. Steele now facing Holding. And again, there were 2 runs here. Van den Holder, the man looking after the offside in front of the wicket. Steered nicely away square on the offside. 3 very easy runs here. Holder saving his arm, bowling that in from that long boundary. And again, the LBW decision turned down. And that's an edge. A difficult low chance there to Collis King at first slip. Been a really brilliant catch if he'd been able just to make it. And again, a wideish ball, and the batsman never in line. Going fast and low, just touching the right hand of Collis King at first slip. The runs here. Holder chasing it round from deep long leg to square. Amazing number of 3s been scored in this test match. 44 3s we had up, and that's an awful lot these days. Shows you how big this ground is.
Oh, well bowled. It came back in the air. Very odd times here at the Oval. The ball seems to have wobbled around a little bit. And that was definitely in swinger. Going down the leg side, missing leg stump, but 55 overs gone. Takes the batsman by surprise. And he's gone. Holder has broken through. That's the one they wanted, and David Steele has gone for 42. And Van den Holder got just that little bit of extra lift out of that ball. It is 148 for 6. David Steele out for 42. Just that little bit of extra bounce that he occasionally gets, Van den Holder. Just surprise Steele. And a straightforward catch to Derek Murray. Good shot for 4 runs. Julian, and he's got a long chase now, having not been able to get the foot in the right position. Alan Knott will pick up 3 runs. It's a nice shot from Alan Knott to bring up his half-century. Three runs, and he goes on now to 51. Good innings. Very, very good fighting Knott. 50 in the first innings, unbeaten 51 in the second, with England 176.
Away past Richards at short leg, and leaving it to Van den Holder, try and cut it off, but he can't do it. It's beaten the close fielders this time, and that'll go through for 4. Now his 3rd boundary. It's been good resistance again by Geoffrey Miller. Been out there for just about 50 minutes. and he's made 17. Well, that's another good shot. Short this time, but forced away quite beautifully this time off the back foot. So this young man all the time growing in confidence. And moving on now to 21. So we reach a stage here where there's exactly 50 minutes left plus 20 overs. And he's bowled him. And he can't believe it. That one really hurried through, got him on the back foot, beaten by the extra little bit of pace. And this stubborn partnership is broken with Richards clean bowling Miller for 24. That's really the final wicket they wanted. The last accredited batsman out. This one pushed through, pitched a little bit further up, and the ball beaten Miller on the backstroke. Surely this time. Out of the ground goes Alan Knott's middle stump, and that has really got to be the end of England here in this 5th Test match. And also another piece of heroic resistance from Alan Knott, out for 57, and it is utmost to keep the West Indians at bay. Just lacked a little bit of support from the middle order English batsman, but he in turn has done a good job here. On his way back now, and the score on 196 for 8. Applause and recognition from the West Indian fielders and from quite a useful last day crowd here. So let's see Holding become the first West Indian ever to take 13 wickets in a Test match. And that's how he accomplished it, with a useful delivery, in fact. Cutting back from outside the off stump and knocking the middle stump of Alan Knott right out of the ground. Holding again to Selby. He's got that away quite nicely on the offside. Julian giving chase. And there's 3 runs if they want it here. They're coming back to some deliberation for the 3rd. So 200 up on the board for England, 201, but alas and alack, they've lost 8 wickets in getting there. Roberts to Underwood. And he's taken an absolutely brilliant catch off the last ball before tea, so there won't be any tea now, but Clive Lloyd really picked that out from nowhere. Most brilliant catch in the gully, and the most relieved man there is Andy Roberts, who thanks to that catch has taken his first wicket in this Test match. And just watch the reaction here of West Indian captain Clive Lloyd in the gully. Pushed away, Underwood nothing like behind it, and a great dive to his left and just picking it up inches off the ground. Really a tremendous piece of feeling, that. This feeling has certainly been one of the highlights of this tour all the way through. Holding, searching here for his extra wicket, looking for a 6th in the innings, adding to the 8 he took in the first innings. The man who's really destroyed England in this Test match. Holding to Willis. And that's out, and it's LBW, and it's all over. Holding takes the wicket, overcome the crowd, and the West Indian fielders sprinting into the pavilion to avoid getting mobbed by their admirers.
A tremendous effort there from the West Indian bowlers. Resistance, and good resistance too, from Alan Knott with his top score of 57 to go with his half-century in the first innings. David Steele batted solidly. He was in his correct role today, trying to save the match. And Jeff Miller again, 24. A good partnership with Alan Knott. I was most impressed with Miller in this match, and he's one who certainly must go to India. 203 all out, and at the conclusion of the game, Peter West talked with both captains, Tony Greig and Clive Lloyd.
England have taken a hammering. The West Indies have won the series 3-0. What would you like to say, in particular, to your rival captain?
Well, I'd just like to congratulate both he and his side very much indeed for a tremendous series. They've played very, very well. They've thoroughly deserved to win. They've given us a good hiding, and good luck to them. I think they've done tremendously well, and I think, perhaps even before you say it, I couldn't say enough about the way Michael Holding has bowled. I think perhaps it's the best performance I've ever seen since I've been playing the fast bowler, taking into consideration especially the conditions in which he bowled in. He bowled in conditions which weren't at all conducive to quick bowling, and yet the man came in and he bowled very fast, and it was magnificent. So all I can say is jolly well done, the West Indians, and well done. That's all.
Well, I don't think that in similar circumstances an England skipper can speak more handsomely than that. Would you agree, Clive?
Well, as I said before, I think Tony's always been a very good sport, there's no doubt about that. But I would say that our side played magnificently. They bowled extremely well on the conditions which were not very conducive at times to fast bowling. And they stuck to the task. Even when some of them were injured, they came back and really gave up their best. We've got the highest praise for all of them. They've done it magnificently. But I think we've got a spare thought for the England team. All right, they're going through a bad period. But I hope and I'm sure that the youngsters that I've seen around the counties, it's only a matter of time before they come good.
I'd like to know if he could tell me perhaps a little bit about the change that came over the West Indies compared with what happened in Australia now. I saw them playing in Australia and they struggled, the same as we're struggling now. And it seems to me, I don't know whether it's just experience, but they seem to have put it together so well. And I'd like to know if he's got an answer for that.
The real problem was catching a slip. We batted well at certain times in spurts, but still when we made small scores, they were behind us at times, and then we just dropped catches and they got better.
Perhaps you fired really as a team more here than you did against us.
Yes, because we've got the right combination now. You see, Gordon is much more of a test player now, a world-class player. We've got Collis King, who's sort of establishing himself, and we have Vivian Richards, who's come good. We've got the bowling, the adequate bowling, I would think. If we can get a sort of a top-class spin in the next year or so, I think we'll be a very difficult side to beat.
We haven't mentioned Andy Roberts, who played a significant part. He only got, what, 1 wicket here?
Yeah.
Didn't bowl badly, but has really, 27 wickets in the first 4 tests, has played a tremendous part in bringing home the bacon for you.
Well, I think one of the things you've got to say about that is that you must remember that Michael Holding, I think I'm right in saying, has been really fully fit in 2 of the test matches. And while Michael perhaps has been getting himself right, in both of those test matches he bowled magnificently, Andy has carried the brunt of the attack, and so perhaps now at this stage of the series, perhaps Andy's feeling a little bit more than Michael. But that really shows the great combination they have. It's so nice to be able to be in that lovely situation where if it's not Andy Roberts, then it's Michael Holding or Wayne Daniel, and that's tremendous. And it's great, it's great that the West Indians have been able to put this together. I would love now to see them with this side play Australia again.
I must say, Holding slipped you a useful Yorker today, didn't he?
Well, when I look back and saw those stumps lying about, I think I'll have to agree with you on that.
Tony, Clive was saying England are going through a difficult period. What do you feel England have come out of this series with, except a defeat by 3-0?
Well, not too much. I think, to be honest, I don't think we have come out of it too much. They've played tremendous cricket, and it's been tremendous being part of this Test series because people have seen a tremendous game of cricket all over the country. But I think that what we have realised, probably more than anything, is that initially we started off and we backed our experienced players. We tried to hold this and play this as a series and win it. Now we've realised, I'm sure, and I'm only speaking for myself, there are selectors, and I think we've realised as selectors that basically we have to start building up a new side. I think the only way to build a new side is to have some of the older blood to lead the way for the youngsters. The big thing is to pick the right youngsters, and very often you've got to give people a chance, and then you've got to throw them out if they're not good enough. And I think the West Indians have done this. I think, just to think of people like Jeff Greenidge, the other Greenidge, who played and then who slipped by the wayside. Chaps have got to come and go until such time as you find a combination. But at the end of the day, I still think that in modern Test cricket, you've got to have quick bowlers. And until such time as we find those quick bowlers, then we are going to struggle a bit. And I'm just hoping that anyone who's watching this program or who wants to see England winning and who knows of a fast bowler, a young fast bowler, for goodness sake, let us know, because I'll give him a game at Sussex anytime.
Well, two captains there, one gracious in success and the other gracious in defeat. And what a fine series this has been for everyone. Even Tony Greig, who's been beaten, has taken part in one of the great test series of all time. A marvellous game at Headingley, one of the best I've ever seen in all my life of watching cricket. And then this exhilarating display of batting and superb bowling here at the Oval in the final match. West Indies easily the better side, as shown in this game, where they finally got through and finished up winning the series 3-0. A very, very fine combination, and one really does wonder, again, how they came to be beaten 5-1 in Australia. Well, I think the real answer to that is that they dropped so many chances, 32 in all in Australia, and I remember counting 15 of them in the Adelaide Test match. Well, this game here was remarkable for two batting efforts. Vivian Richards, a superb double century, one of the greatest you'll ever see, and then that courageous fight back by Dennis Amos when he made his 203 with a changed technique. That was marvellous, but what about the bowling display from Michael Holding? A long time ago, a fellow called Spofford bowled out England here in that historic match at the Oval. That was the last time 14 wickets had been taken on this ground. Michael Holding did it again in this game here. He is almost a great bowler at the moment. He's going to be a great fast bowler, and in this game, he's given us a memorable and abiding exhibition.
And he's out, LBW this time.
That's out. And he's bowled him.
And he's bowled him.
Bowled him, beaten for pace there.
And has bowled him. He's gone over too far. He's left the leg stump wide open. And he's played it on. And he's done it too, Ollie. Yes, he's got out in the identical fashion. And that's an edge, and that's taken, and he's caught at second slip. And he's out, I think. It's on his way. Yes, caught behind.
And what a great delivery. Oh, well.
And he's bowled too. And that's out, and it's LBW, and it's all over.